Imagine working abroad in a beautiful country, beautiful people, beautiful cuisines, traveling all over, while also just earning your own money using the skills that you have. And I'm talking about English teaching jobs in Turkey or Turkey. And I'll be answering this question because you guys, you are so important to me, and I will always want to take time to answer some of your questions. So I'm going to be answering this question. One of you asked me, tell me about the jobs in Turkey when it comes to teaching. What are the requirements, the salaries, and how can I acquire one? I'll be going through, so you want to stay tuned because we're going to be learning together, me and you, so that we can secure a job in your own, using this way of actually learning so that you can come to Turkey and start earning. And I have to give my own observation and also my own research, and as well as advise you to do your own research and also find ways to actually get the right information when it comes to job recruitment. So let's dive in without wasting any time. First of all, let's start by actually just analyzing why should you want even to come to Turkey? A lot of you have seen maybe videos circulating and also why people are telling you why you should not come to Turkey. And some of the reasons, they are valid, some of them they are being exaggerated, and some of them they lack information, correct information. So I'll be trying to give you my own observation why you should work in Turkey. As much as I want to tell you, finding a job in Turkey, it's not easy, especially for expats or for people from outside. If you're not into the country, it can be really tough. Even the locals, it has been a very big challenge finding jobs here in Turkey. However, let's base on the factor that Turkey is a country that is actually speaking Turkish, because that is their national language, and English together with other languages are not actually not widely spoken in everyday lives of Turkish people. And that's why many schools want to actually let their kids to learn these foreign languages for the purpose of actually education and other things in terms of career-wise. So the demand for jobs like this, or for the demand for teaching jobs, are very high in Turkey, considering the fact that, like I said, it is not common to actually to see Turks speak to interact in English the same way as other nationalities, or maybe the same way like Western countries do use English or other languages. So the demand for jobs are very high in certain schools, especially the big cities. But that doesn't mean that when you land here, you're gonna be getting a job instantly. By the way, you can get surprised when you come here to find a job. It can be very tricky, very hard if you don't have any connections, or maybe if you don't have any qualifications, or maybe if you don't have any certifications. Now, another thing is that Turkey is a beautiful country. Like I said, it offers in terms of actually tourism, in terms of actually visiting. When you want to come here to work, you're gonna not just working but also exploring the beautiful nature, the beautiful country, the beautiful sceneries here. Talk of Cappadocia, talk of Pamukkale, talk of Istanbul, talk of all those good stuff when it comes to actually visiting, especially for the people who love history. You're gonna enjoy and you're gonna have a lot of fun actually working here. Now, something else about working here, it is in terms of actually that cultural exchange. You're going to be having that cultural exchange. You're going to be knowing some of the cultures participated here. And also you're going to be interacting with the locals, and also just knowing, or maybe massively being interactive to other communities. And also, like I say, Turkey is a beautiful country with all kind of people. It is a diverse country. All people from all over the world come here for many reasons, like education, businesses, and other stuff, or maybe touring. Like I say, tourism is a big sector here, so you're going to be interacting with a lot of people. Now let's move on and actually consider, or maybe look at some of the things you must have as a foreigner to work as an English teacher here in Turkey. First of all, you have to make sure that you are actually qualified. Okay, what I've seen in most cases here in Turkey is that it is in terms of actually many schools, even the ones who are hiring, they consider people who are native speaker when it comes to English. Okay, English as your mother tongue, okay, not as your second language. And also something else that is very important and very crucial, it is in terms of certification. Many universities, many schools here consider people who have the certification in terms of TESOL or maybe TESOL or TEFL. Okay, so you must make sure that you have a current or a valid certification in terms of actually these kind of skills, because you're going to be showing to the school maybe you are applying, or maybe if you don't have, you can still learn online using the TEFL course providers. And also just once you finish, they're going to help you to find a job. Most of them, they do. Okay, now let's talk about the salaries here that I know for sure, because I have friends who are working in this sector, and most of them, they are actually depending on where, because most of the time where you work and also your employer, the city that you are working can vary. Okay, the salary can vary. So most of the time, or maybe depending on where you are working, you will find that mostly salaries are still low, not even too much low, but they are still low, because you can get around $1,000 to $1,800, okay, teaching English. And this doesn't mean that this is the actual amount. I'm just approximating. Okay, so do your own math and also your own research. Now, some of the schools or some of the cities that are good to work in as an English teacher in Turkey include Istanbul, include Ankara, include Izmir, include Bursa, Antalya, Konya, these big cities. Okay, if you are looking, or if you are aiming at getting a better high salary, you must consider these kind of cities, because they are the major ones that are actually hiring, and also the major ones who are actually people are looking for certain things. So you must have to make sure that you are looking in this kind of cities. Now, let's look at some of the things to consider, or maybe when you are using, or maybe when you are not in Turkey but you are interested in teaching jobs, what are the job sites that you can use? I'm going to be mentioning some of them, starting with LinkedIn. Even though I have to highly recommend that if you're using LinkedIn, try as much as possible also to add more skills that you have, more certification that you have. One of it, another one is actually career.com or career.net. It is in Turkish. You can translate it into English and find jobs there. You can also use indeed.com to find these kind of jobs. And one way, or one best way to actually acquire a job here in Turkey as an English teacher is actually when you are taking, for instance, if you don't have certification, you don't have TEFL certificate, you can take this course, and those course providers, they can actually help you to actually get a job here in Turkey. Okay, depending on who or where are you aiming to do, they can actually do that. Okay, something else is actually to go through the schools or the university that you are interested in the city that you are interested in, and try to find their website and send them maybe an email and tell them that you have this experience and you want to, or you will be glad to work together as an English teacher. Another way to get a job in Turkey as an English teacher is actually for you to try as much as possible to have connections in terms of the people who are working in Turkey, or maybe in terms of the people who already are working in that sector. They can have links, or maybe they can have groups, Facebook groups, WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, whichever groups they have, and you can get those jobs posted there. I have seen a lot of posting in Facebook groups. Some of them, they require kindergarten teachings in terms of English, or maybe some of them they require you to actually send an email to a certain school or a certain university together with your papers in terms of education, in terms of actually certification. Another way is actually for you to actually, before you think of even traveling, because most of you, what you normally do is you think that, oh, if you just land in Turkey, you're gonna get a job, which is not true. It's not easy, like I always tell you guys, but it is very possible for you, especially if you have the qualifications, you have all the certification. It is very possible. Now, even though Turkey is a beautiful country, like I said, it has a lot to offer when you come here to work. I have to emphasize that competition is very high, and sometimes it can be very difficult for you to actually acquire a job in Turkey. Now, something else to consider is in terms of actually the visa requirements or the visa entry, and also the work permit for you to work legally in Turkey and get all the benefits when it comes to being hired. You must make sure that you are compiling, or you are actually working according to the law, that is having a work permit or a resident permit. Without this, you're going to be actually having a very difficult time here if you are actually thinking of just using any other visa to come to work in Turkey. I know these things agents don't tell you, but guys, you have to be very observant when it comes to actually what you want. In overall, I have to say that Turkey has a lot to offer, even though it is very difficult to get jobs as people who are not in the country, but still there is hope. And also, I'll urge you to actually utilize the job site website that I have already mentioned, and also you can actually do your own research and find better hiring companies. If you are having a difficult time, and also if you are thinking of getting someone to help you in terms of actually an agent, then I have to tell you that you must make sure that you are doing your due diligence research accordingly, so that you are not actually scammed, because there are so many people who are lying to others that they are this kind of job, they are paying this kind of jobs in Turkey. But when you come in reality, you won't work as an English teacher. Instead, you're going to be working in these factory jobs or any other jobs. So be very careful. Now, I have to end this video because I think I have background noise from my little kids, and I'm really sorry, guys. As usual, you know that I'm a mom and these two kids are making trouble all the time. But if you have watched the video up to here, I want to say thank you so much. Until next time again, I'll see you. Bye.